We're at Kyalami for the opening rounds of the South African Superbike Championship, where a few changes have taken place since last season. Brett McLeod, the reigning South African Superbike champion, leads a smaller Elf Suzuki team with his brother Stuart, who battled with a particular motorcycle last year that had an unbelievable built-in wobble. Here are the latest machines that are onto for the 1999 season with more power and better handling. Official practice on Saturday morning and race day almost turns into a full-blooded race as riders and teams battle to sort out their new motorcycles. And already, despite the heat, riders are down to lap record times with Brett McLeod fastest and reasonably happy. New bike, Brett, good start to the season on pole?
Yeah, I tried my best, but we've had a bit of bad luck. We've blown 2 engines so far, and the only engine I've got left is my one I ran in the Australian Challenge. And it seems to be going good. Our bike's handling much better than last year with a different suspension in it. And the 99 bike should be good.
Good team that, with Gavin Pemberton, the man who looks after their preparation at the races. For this year, Russell Wood has swapped to the new Yamaha R6, once again with Nashua backing.
Oh, Roger, the bike's really good. It's stock motor with a pipe on, with a couple of jet changes, so it's really quick. We've got a lot of development to do still, and we've only had yesterday and Thursday's practices to get the thing into shape. So I'm battling a bit on the turns because the handling's a bit out for race conditions, but horsepower's there, and I'm on the front row, so I'm happy. Yamaha have done a good job with this bike.
Twice the South African motorcycle champion Trevor Crooks makes his comeback after a 2-year layoff. Is also in the Nashua Honda team, as is Arushan Mudley from PE, who put in some tremendous performances last year. Back on the Kawasaki is Brad Anassis, who's backed by Shell, and Piet van Zyl, one of South Africa's top tuning wizards.
Kawasaki 94, 95, it's great to be back in the stable. And I got Piet van Zyl and Shell backing, and myself. I'm putting a lot of money, private money, in this year, which is hard for me on my own pocket. But I'm looking forward to this year, and I think things are going to work out, and I'm a lot fitter than I was before, and you'll see the results on the racetrack.
As a full field of 29 motorcycles line up for the first race of the season, let's have a look at the starting grid. Brett McLeod did that 149 right at the end of practice, and just look how close it is. 3 different makes on the front row, 2 Zimbabweans on the second row, with Greg Dreyer and Graham from Badar sharing that row as well. Waiting for the lights to turn to green. It goes to green. It's 42 laps of action ahead as sweeping into the lead. Number 1, the champion, Brett McLeod on the new Elf Suzuki, goes to the front. 25 is Lawrence Isaac. They go through there. Russell Wood nudges through to second position. A bad start there for Stuart McLeod on number 6. He got left. He's on the front row. He's gone way back in the pack. He's lying about 8th or 9th at the moment. 16's Robbie Peterson. 2 is Greg Dreyer down the field. 6 going round. His outside is Stuart McLeod trying to make up times. Then it's Graham from Badar as this huge field goes along the old pit straight there to the Goodyear sweep. And it's McLeod in the front, and he's being worried by Russell Wood on that new Nashua Yamaha R6 right on his tail. 23 Brad Anassis. Then it's Robbie Peterson, the yellow one. 19 Jacko Vessels. They come through onto the brakes. Here goes Russell Wood. This is the Greg Dreyer's favourite passing place, but it's become one for Russell Wood as well. Halfway around the lap, and we've got our second leader. We're in for a mighty race, and those bikes are right on the limit. You can see the back wheel stepping out. Dunlop tyres on the Suzuki's, Michelin on the Yamahas as they sweep absolutely flat out down the Haviland sweep into Vodacom Bowl, and it is Russell Wood hanging onto that lead. A tighter turning Suzuki there, number 1. Brett McLeod tries to go on his inside. Here they go up the hill to the AA King. There's a tricky one. You can so easily lose it here. Russell Wood's in the front. That machine revving way over 15,000. They say up to 17,500. And here comes McLeod. Tighter turning Suzuki's done it. He takes his chances. Goes to Russell Wood's tighter line. Gives him drive out the corner. They neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder as they go down the straight at the end of the first lap. And Russell Wood's going to go around the outside. But that Suzuki's got drive. It's Brett McLeod back in the lead. We've had 3 leader changes, and we've done a lap. What a rider. As we always say, it reminds us of Gary Hocking, head down on the tank. You hardly see him. Look out over that windscreen. Then it's Russell Wood and Brad Anassis. Number 23 on that Shell Kawasaki's right in there. Here's the other 7 is Sean White. 16, 2 Zimbabweans. There is Robbie Peterson. 5 is Graham from Badar. And the others are coming through there and absolutely pouring on. Jacko Vessels is in that leading pack as well. Greg Dreyer losing a little bit of ground there with Arushan Mudley moving in onto his back wheel, as Graham from Badar on the limit scrapes his knee all the way through that Goodyear sweep. This is on the limit racing. That's for sure. Maybe a little bit over the top as well. They're all trying so hard in this first race of the season, getting those bikes two-wheel drifting in the front. Russell Wood is still hanging on to Brett McLeod. There's the third man. He looks a little bit taller than the others. In fact, he's just as short. He sits more upright, does Brad Anastas on his motorcycle. Sean White is next. Then it's Robbie Peterson. 5 is from Badar, and Stuart McLeod is closing. He's looking for that tighter line on the West Bank shelf as he goes onto the brakes there. Seems to have a far tighter circle. Here's the leading 3. Brett McLeod in the front. He's only got about 10 bike lengths ahead of Russell Wood. He gets very late onto the brakes on that new Yamaha. You say it's been revved up to over 17 for a standard road-going 4-cylinder motorcycle. It's unbelievable. Brad Anastas hanging on to third there. Sean White with Robbie Peterson. Look who's coming. Stuart McLeod has now got past Graham from Badar and is closing. He's challenging. What a ride this youngster's putting. There he is. Gets a bit of a wobble down through the pit, but that motorcycle is steering a lot better than the one he rode last year. It was really a feature of the racing last year, with him just hanging on for dear life. He's closing on White. White from Ferrari is putting in some great rides these days on South African circuit. Here the leaders. Brett McLeod are getting towards the closing stages. Race is getting away from Russell Wood. And Brad Anastas is not letting them get away, as here these two come neck and neck and tighter lines. And Stuart McLeod has gone to fourth. And he's closing on Brad Anastas. What a great ride. Terrible start he had, but he's really riding very, very well indeed. One of the best rides we've seen him have. Sean White, another neat little rider. Most of these riders are short and can get tucked in behind these bubble visors they have on his screens. No more than Brett McLeod. You can never see him. That's the most we've ever seen him sit up on his motorcycle. And here comes Russell Wood now. He's got Brad Anastas starting to close, as you see. Russell gets that back wheel sliding as he goes into West Bank. And Anastas looking very neat and confident. First time out in the Kawasaki for a couple of years, and he's giving a great performance. Great backing from Piet van Zyl from Clarksdorp, one of the tuners in this country. As he goes down, he's closing on Russell. Russell's a late breaker. Let's see what Brad does here as he gets into the Vodacom Bowl. He's closing. Maybe the tyres on Russell Woods, they've got different tyres. It's Dunlops and Michelin. He might have overcooked his tyres in the early stages of this race. As Brett McLeod goes on his way, he's on his way to the line. First win of the season, round number 1. Looking very good. Powers it on, right on the limit as he comes out of there. John Wheeler's waiting with the flag. And Brett McLeod has won maximum points in round number 1 of the Superbike season. Behind him, we've got coming up the road, there he is. Russell Wood just gets it ahead there of Brad Anastas, with Stuart McLeod home in 4th position. Very good ride. Then comes Sean White and Graham from Badar on the first of the Hondas, the Autopaid Cellular Honda. A new lap record established by Brett McLeod on that Elf Suzuki due to the new specifications of the motorcycles. But let's go down to the pits to talk to Russell Wood and hear his impressions of his first race on the new Yamaha.
Russell, good start in the new team, but Brad Anastas was very close to you at the end.
Yeah, the greasy Greek was right there. Took him another 2 laps, maybe he would have got by, but we needed just a bit more time on suspension. I think we worked the tyres too hard with the suspension being out, and new bike, but points in the bag is all I want, and the season's long. As long as I can keep it upright in the second heat and collect the points again, I'm quite happy. But my teammates are doing exceptionally well. Dark horse was an understatement, I think.
Rushan, a good start, a new team 8th.
Yeah, thanks. The team's working. We're all working great together. The bike's super fast, and I'm really happy to be back on the Yamaha, the Nashua Yamaha team.
27 bikes make it to the line for round number 2 of the Superbike Championship. And a lot of wheelies there as they get away. This time it's green motorcycles going to the front. 23, and is known to be a quick starter. But it's number 7, Sean White from Ferrari, has gone to the front as they go down the Penzol Curve and trying to nip in there. Number 1 is Brett McLeod. Interesting, 77 is the young from Badar. That's Graham's younger brother, riding on his father's number plate that became famous in past years. As they come down into the Winfield S's, it's Brad Anastas leading Sean White, and Brett McLeod is thereabouts as well. We've got one big motorcycle race on our hands this time as they go around the Winfield S's and go onto the West Bank shelf. Here comes McLeod on number 1. He goes on the inside of White. He's taken him, gone to 2nd position, and his sights are now set on number 23, Anastas in the lead. And Russell Wood tries to get on the inside of White. That Kawasaki is very quick out of the corners. They come down the hill. Look at this. 6 riders. Any one of these 6 can win this race. Anastas, it's Brett McLeod as they get onto the brakes for Vodacom Bowl. Sideways they're going to this corner, and Russell Wood pushes out White and brings Dreyer along with him, and Dreyer takes his opportunities. Number 2, a lot more competitive this time, and Russell knows he's got a fight on his hands. It's a tricky man, is Greg Dreyer, hard rider. He comes from nowhere, and he's moved up now. He's got into 3rd position. Here comes Stuart McLeod. Much better start this time. Tries to go on the inside of Russell Wood, doesn't work, but that Suzuki is so competitive. Wood's easy to pick up with that yellow patch on the back of his leathers. And look at this, 6 riders, all heavy into the war that goes on here between Mike. Russell Wood holds off Greg Dreyer as they go down the Penzol S's, but it's Brett McLeod looking totally in control. He almost makes it look so easy with Brad Onassis on his tail on the Kawasaki. Very busy around Nashua Corner. The camber's wrong. They've got to go down through the 6-speed gearbox. And just listen to those bikes revving up to 15,000 and beyond as they go along the old pit straight there towards Goodyear Sweep. It's McLeod getting away from Onassis. Russell Wood is being worried there by Stuart McLeod. He's moved up. He's got shot there of Greg Dreyer on the Autopage Cellular Honda, and he is starting to move in and looking for third position. And that's Suzuki, no doubt about it. It's a tight handler. Seems to take a far tighter line round these corners. Russell's holding on to dear life to third spot, and he's looking for him now as he goes up to the West Bank shelf. Can he do it? Here goes Stuart on the inside, number 6. He gets the tail out. Doesn't work this time. Going to try and tighten his line. Russell Wood can do that as well. His knees in the way if he wants to come past him. As they go down the hill, it's Brett McLeod now. His head down, and he's starting to go like a whippet. Brad Onassis, the green one, is second. Russell's now got Stuart. He's going to try him at Vodacom Bowl. Russell gets the back wheel out sideways, and Stuart McLeod tightens it again and has gone through, shouldered his way to second position. Can you believe it? Stuart McLeod's into third. McLeod's a 1 and 2 on the Alfa Suzukis. Second is Onassis. The Nashua Honda is fourth of Russell Wood on that R6, the new R6 Yamaha. And Greg Dreyer still there, having a great ride there. He's going to be a lot more competitive this year. That's for sure. Sean White's just behind them. They get those back wheels sliding as they come out of Gestetner Corner. Brett McLeod hardly lifts his head above that bubble. And that's 6 is his brother, 3 is Wood, 2 is Dreyer. Then it's 7 is Sean White. On his tail he's got Graham from Badar, number 5. Woodley's a little bit further behind in the other Nashua Honda. Heads down and going. Isn't it revving? They've just used that motor to slow them down. Brad Onassis looking very confident, makes it look easy. Normally has a little look around at this stage of the race. Not this time. His head down. Oh, there he goes. He's just summing things up. He looks over his shoulder, and guess what? Number 6 is coming past on his inside. The Suzuki seems to go under all these other motorcycles, tightens the line, and then picks up another spot. The order, McLeod 1, McLeod 2. That's Brett leading his brother Stuart. There's history in the making. They've done it once in the past. They've done it again here at Kyalami, and Baden has got to make a serious plan if he's going to retrieve his second position. A little later in the race there, Greg Dreyer's under pressure, number 2 from his teammate in that Autopage Cellular Honda. Number 5 is Graham from Badar, and the driver, that Kawasaki, the man from Harare, Sean White, is just giving it everything he's got. Very, very quick indeed, all those green Kawasaki's. Here comes Dreyer, 4-time South African Superbike champion. You're going to hear a lot more of him as this season progresses. As they go down through the Penzol S's, absolutely flat out, with those machines on maximum revs. Nothing here revs under 14,000 RPM. Back with the leading pack, this is second position, number 6, Stuart McLeod, 23 is Onassis, 3 is Russell Wood in the R6 Nashua Honda, going as hard as he can. It might be the tyre choice that is not giving him the advantage in this race over these other Suzukis and the Kawasaki. And they certainly use all the road. These riders are right on the lap records, even in the heat of summer, and it's very hot here this afternoon at Kyalami. There's a leader, Stylish. This is a man you're going to hear a lot more of when the Superbike Championship comes to Kyalami. Watch for Brett McLeod. He's going to do well for South Africa, no doubt about it. Brother Stuart in second position, then is Brad Onassis, and they're a long way ahead of the other pack. And have a look, Graham from Badar has pushed his way past Greg Dreyer, and Sean White is trying to find a way past as well. Formation flying as they come through the Winfield S's and head up onto the West Bank shelf. A blind approach to this corner. That's the lead we've got there of Brett McLeod in the front, and he gets it inside with such a neat little rider. You never see him make mistakes. We've seen him only once or twice fall off his motorbike, but he really is in control of these Superbike races. Head down and going. He's got one corner to go, 250 meters. John Wheeler's waiting with the checkered flag, and round number 2 has been reeled off near the lap record. Brett McLeod is in the lead in the South African Superbike Championship, and what a performance he has given. In second position, his brother Stuart, 1-2 for the Alfa Suzuki team. The Shell Kawasaki is in third, and McLeod a very happy man. So McLeod, no lap records in that one, ahead of his brother in the Alfa Suzuki with Brad Onassis, very good third there. Russell Wood in fourth in the Nashua Honda, and Graham from Badar, the first of the Hondas.
The second race, it wasn't as easy as the first race, but it was fun and a good start. Hopefully we can keep it this way.
And Stuart, you really came on strong. You were fighting those guys off for second there. It wasn't easy, eh?
Yeah, I got 2 bad starts, both heats, but I just had to push my way through, and the bike's going really strong, and we just got to get them a little bit better, because I know the Hondas are going to get better, definitely, and we just got to keep trying for the rest of the year.